the memories that our residents and families have given me. Honestly, those cannot be replaced. I will have them until either I have dementia and forget them or I die, right? So it's all that history that goes with it, and knowing that we've been able to do something for somebody that they weren't able to do for themselves, giving peace of mind to families, knowing that when their resident is here, they are well cared for. They don't have to worry, did mom get out, or, is mom fallen? We've taken that stress off the families, and that's a really good feeling, and I'm hoping that, I don't know, one day I might be a senior too. And I hope that I could move into some place, if Riverwood's still here, that I would be well cared for, and that my family would be relieved, and the stress would be gone about knowing that they were cared for as human beings. I'm Ruth Green. I'm the general manager at Riverwood Senior Living here in Alliston. I have been in this profession for 30 years. I have been at this location for 20, and hopefully another 20 more. I love the outdoors. I'm an outdoors person. I have my house, it's on an acre.
Got it.
I've got lots of yard and stuff like that. To me, being outside's the best. We could write a book on a lot of the experiences that we've had with our residents. I've had one resident, and her son was a pastor, and she told the dirtiest jokes you would not believe. That's what we keep as our memories of each of our residents, are our experiences with them. It's not their death, because death is inevitable for every single one of us, but it is our experiences with the residents, their history, and some of our residents have been with us for 10 years. And we do get to know them, and we do get to know and watch them progress through whatever journey they're going through in their life. And yeah, it's their past experiences with us, that's what we remember about them. And we have a good chuckle a lot of times. We don't remember their death. We remember their life and each of their little quirky things that they can do sometimes. And we have a good giggle about it, absolutely. The optimism, the looking towards the future, not so much the past, because the past we cannot change, but looking towards a good future with good employees, caring for our residents, good residents, good families as well too, very supportive families. Alliston's still that small town, and it's one of the few places that I know of that our residents have the most family and our friends visit anywhere. And to me, that is so important. During COVID, it was difficult because we kind of had to keep everybody out to a point, but we started the Zooms. So they could actually see each other then, right? Non-negotiables to be in this industry is trustworthiness. We have to be able to trust our staff to do what they are supposed to do the very best that they can do each and every single day, to have in mind that this person that we're caring for is somebody's family member, be it a mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, great-grandma, great-grandpa, all of that stuff. These are people, and we have to treat them with dignity, respect, and with honesty as well too. Healthcare has to come from the heart. There's no doubt about it. You cannot be in this business to make money. You have to be in it because this is what we have to do. To care for somebody, to know that we've made their day a little bit better. And we've helped them through whatever struggles they're going through. Not negotiables are, like I said, the trustworthiness. We've been given a huge honor and a huge responsibility to care for these people. We all do, to get into this profession, first of all, we do have to have a vulnerable sector check done, which means we cannot have any past criminal histories of abuse and or theft. Residents can try to pay for things that are all-inclusive here, and I have to be able to trust the staff that they are not going to accept, be it money or personal items. These belong to the people, right? They're not up to us. So we get involved in it. We get families involved in it as well too. But yeah, honesty, being here when you're supposed to be here as well too, following your schedule. We do have job descriptions. They must be followed because they're there for a reason, and that is for us to care for our residents, be it a shower or even getting them to their meals and stuff like that. I'm trusting staff to do what they're hired to do and do it out of the goodness of their heart as well too. What brought me into this line of work was I started at another home, and it was in accounting, as we were talking about. My calculator, it's my best friend some days. And I got bitten by the bug of our residents, and took some more courses, lots of courses actually, and ended up being an assistant general manager at the other place, and then moved down here to be the general manager down here. But it was, more than anything, it was, I don't know, I'm a middle child. I've always been the peacekeeper in my whole life. So it's making sure my residents are happy, making sure my families are happy, making sure the staff are also happy, because I've always said, happy staff make my residents happy. It's been difficult this last little while with having to wear masks, because our residents don't see our smiles. But the girls have now caught on that they see our smiles through our eyes as well too, and our voices to them as well. So yeah, healthcare has to be a calling. You can't be in it for the money. None of us are ever going to become rich and famous in these businesses, but the sense of what we've accomplished through the day for somebody else, not for ourselves. It's serving somebody else and their families as well too. What I wish hiring managers would do with potential new employees would be to talk with them, listen to their stories. Don't just ask specific questions and wait for an answer back. Get them to tell you a story that's happened with a senior in their life or seniors in your life. I think you get better answers from people when it's not what's your strong suit, what's your weak point. Is get them to expand on situations that they have found themselves in with seniors. How do they deal with somebody with dementia? Have them tell you a story of what they've had happen with them, with a resident, so that they can explain themselves how they've dealt with the situation. You can ask the questions if you want, but I don't think you get a full answer back. It could be very scripted when asking, what's your strong point? Well, everybody says, I care. No, get them to tell you how they care. Get them to expand on things that are what they're looking for in their future as well too. It's listening more than anything. I think with people is we have to take more time to listen to people and see what they want and see what their strong points are, and their weak points as well too, because most people are pretty honest about some weak points, and we have to listen. What I think every hiring manager needs to stop doing is just taking the first person that comes in the door. We do know nowadays that it's extremely hard to hire people, but a body is just not good enough to have as an employee. It has to be, like I said before, it has to come from our hearts to be in this profession. It's not just a paycheck, it's much more than that, and that's where we have to draw the line. I know everybody thinks, well, we have to have employees, but just having employees isn't good enough, because they're not going to do the job that we want them to do for our residents. 2024, I think, is going to bring some challenges. We've been through the challenge for the last 3 years of employees. I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's still trying to find the best that we possibly can in our employees. We want to keep the employees that we have here happy, because then they're not going to be looking for someplace else. Money is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Money can't make any of us happy. Yes, it's a necessary evil. We all need it. But that feeling that we have at the end of the day is still worth more than what any amount of money can give us. I still think that with 2024, yes, it's going to be the employees still, the difficulties that everybody has gone through, never mind just healthcare, but it's nationwide. And I think that is our biggest struggle coming into 2024. But it's also accepting new things. It's being prepared for the changes that are coming down, whatever they may be. I mean, nobody predicted COVID, and we learned to deal with that, and we all struggled to get through it. We did exceptionally well, I have to admit. But yeah, there will always be things thrown at us in the world, and we just have to be resilient and look towards a future that, you know what, will get us through this, and hopefully next year will be better, right? The memories that our residents and families have given me, honestly, those cannot be replaced. I will have them until either I have dementia and forget them, or I die, right? So it's all that history that goes with it, and knowing that we've been able to do something for somebody that they weren't able to do for themselves, giving peace of mind to families, knowing that when their resident is here, they are well cared for. They don't have to worry, did mom get out, or, is mom fallen? We've taken that stress off the families, and that's a really good feeling, and I'm hoping that, I don't know, one day I might be a senior too. And I hope that I could move into some place, if Riverwood's still here, that I would be well cared for, and that my family would be relieved, and the stress would be gone about knowing that they were cared for as human beings. Riverwood has been part of my life now for 20 years. My mother she'll be 90 in January. She still has her own home. I'll have no problem having my mom move in here because I know the level of care that she gets. I have some staff that actually have their grandmothers here. And to me, that means the most, because if they're entrusting their own family here, that's huge, right? Because they know that the care that they're going to get, because they're there giving it, right? So yeah, I'll have no problem with my own mother moving in here. And one day, I just might be here as well too. You never know. The advice that I'd give all managers, hiring managers, would be, it's to listen and go with your gut as well too. If you're getting a bad vibe off of somebody that's come in for the interview, if you're thinking that they're fake or their heart's not in this position, we ask the hard questions. We find out how they reply back to our questions sometimes. If this happened, how are you going to deal with it? I think that's the best advice that I could give to anybody is listen. The advice that I'd give to people who are looking to get into the healthcare field is don't get into it for the money, because it ain't going to happen anywhere. Get in it because this is what you have to do. This is coming from your heart. Your heart will be so full at the end of every single day with mostly good. There's always going to be some sad as well too. But yeah, you have to be prepared to give it your all and know that you're doing something for somebody that they can no longer do for themselves, and look at it that one day that could possibly be you. How would you like to be treated? To be a staffing partner, we're really looking for being able to move at a minute's notice sometimes. It's like, okay, well, I'll stop what I'm doing here to give you a hand here. It's the understanding that you're also going to be on that same side too. Everybody kind of does things their own little way. Ultimately, yes, the person has to be bathed and showered and stuff like that. But if this person could do it this way and still have the outcome that the person is showered, and this person does it this way and the outcome is still the person is showered, you know what? Take those individual personality traits and let them express them. Let them do it. The end result's the same. And as long as the resident's happy, managers should be happy as well too. Agile's been very good with us. The staffing that we've needed, they have been able to supply us. They have supplied us with good quality employees as well too. Very caring staff. We've had some of them since the very beginning when we started with Agile. Prior to COVID, we did not use agencies. We had enough staff. COVID hit and everything changed. There was a lot of agencies that popped up out of the woodwork that were hiring, and I think not even PSWs, they were just people off the street that we were very disappointed with. I've known Anne for quite a few years and didn't realize that she was done with Agile. We hooked up again, and honestly, I don't think I have one bad thing to say about Agile. If there's been issues and stuff like that, it's been dealt with right away. It has not been ignored. Not everybody fits in everywhere, and that's okay. We are a bit of a different retirement home because we have residents that have their own vehicles and come and go as they please, and then we go right up to and including palliative and end-of-life care. That is not for everybody, and you don't always know that until they try it. Like I said, the PSWs, some of them have been here since we've started with Agile, and to me, that continuity is extremely important because it makes their life easier as well too, right? I mean, if they're coming into the same place and getting to know the same residents, yes, we do have turnover, and we will always have new residents for them to learn. But yeah, it's been, actually, right now, it is my only agency that I use. Any of the agencies really need to go into the home itself and see the requirements. Every home is different. Every manager has different expectations of their agencies and staffing and stuff like that. So that when their staff come to them over something, they have some kind of an idea of what our expectations are. And I think that's a huge thing, is finding out what the expectations are of a customer, be it Riverwood or another client that they have, is knowing exactly what they want. I know there's places who only want a body there, and that's okay. I expect more than that. I expect if I'm paying you to come in and do a job, you're doing the job that you've been hired to do, and you're doing it with compassion and understanding. So I think more than anything is trying to find out what the home's requirements are for their own employees, and try to fit those other ones in that you know have the same strengths or likes that the home is looking for in their own employees, even though they're agency. I've gotten to know some of the most phenomenal people, be it our residents, the family, staff. The memories that I hold and the stories that I hold are something that I will never forget. It's been a ride, good and bad. I mean, COVID, none of us ever expected that, and I think that was one of the things that was the hardest for healthcare. We did not work from home. We did not get 2 years off with the government paying us. We were here every single day still doing things that just needed to be done, and caring for our residents the best that we possibly could. So yeah, there's been some wonderful memories, and even the bad memories are still memories, and we just look forward to a great future.